It's the new style. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1.
Up in the booth with the people of fresh. There was one DJ who had to pass the test and know he's down below and he's ready to play. That's right, y'all. His name is AJ. Never gets nervous when he cuts the beat. He gets that not service in the clutch on the street. I'm completely it can't be beat because AJ never knew the agony of defeat.
I like that. I like that line right there, Jay. I like that line right there, Kris Gardner. It said AJ never knew the agony of defeat. I felt that in my spirit, bro. I felt that. I mean it. It's the new style. Day number 4 here on the lunch break on the JM&E network. And I got my brother like no other, Mr. Houston Roundball review. Kris Gardner, local name, global perspective, joining me on the show today. Kris, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I love that intro. That's old school. Little clip I sent you in some of my YouTube shorts. That's from the 90s. 90s ain't old school. That's old school right there for an old head like me, man. So that's great.
Yeah, bro. I was doing a wedding on 2/22/22, and the father of the groom walked up with his phone and he played that song. I was like, bruh, I forgot about my own theme song. Let me make that part of the new show. So yeah, man, I had to go back on him with that one right there.
That's great, man. That's awesome.
Well, brother, how you doing? A lot went on since we last got together. In fact, I retired from radio, and you can see me in this TV studio. It's a virtual background right now. I really want to turn the virtual background off and let people see what's under construction here at the JM&E studio. But man, brother, they ain't gonna see this one coming. They are not going to see this one coming.
And it's funny how everything works, man. And since this is your show, your platform now, and I'm going to use a term that some folks may not want to hear, but it's great how God works, man, because I go back to you first for reaching out to me, give me the opportunity to be on the lunch break, because at that point in time, I'd been shut out locally. I still did my thing nationally, but locally I've been shut out. And now we talked, and you talked to me about your new endeavor.
Yeah.
You came forward and said you wanted to do what I do.
Yeah.
So it's how it all works out, man. So it's great. I wish you well in this venture. I think we're gonna blow it up and do big things with it. So because we're gonna collaborate on some things, and let me say this: when I mentioned it off air to young Mr. Andy Yanez, his eyes lit up, man. I could see the wheels in his young brain working. About, man, content. I can do this. I'm like, yep, that's right, young fella. I'm gonna put you to work some more. So yep. So it's great that we have this another platform to share. He's doing some different things into his regular job, but he's learning technology and showing me stuff on the fly from our old brain. So it's good there. Looking forward to that. We got another show tonight with Andy and Mr. Willie Gibson.
Yes, sir.
Folks talking sports. 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern for Mr. Gibson. We got a special guest, Sam Khan from The Athletic.
Oh, yeah. Is Sam Khan still kicking around out there? I knew Sam Khan when he was with the Chronicle. So there you go.
Yep. So I've seen Sam grow from the Daily Cougar to the Chronicle, ESPN to The Athletic. So
yeah.
He and I go back a long way. So it's good to have him. I have planned to show you how I'm learning how to do things, and I'm still learning in my many years of being in media, sports media. I had hoped to get Lauren Sampson on the show live on Folks Talking Sports this evening. She won't be able to join us from 7 to 8, but she agreed for an interview in about an hour. So I'm going to just talk to her about how she plans everything for senior day events, because, that's work.
Right. Absolutely.
So I just want to talk to her about that. So appreciate her taking time out of her day to fit me in to do that.
Sure.
So it's all good there. And just got through talking with Coach Sampson, media availability, which about lasted about 35, 40 minutes almost.
Oh, wow.
And I hope U of H keeps the word. Coach Sampson used some profanity. It was great. He was answering my question, and I want to say this to youngsters and people new in media. I've been in this going on 30 years almost, and he was quick, and some folks new to it. Man, Kris, he kind of laid into you on your question. I'm on coach a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When coach wants to light into me, coach light into me. That
Right.
was nothing. But
Yeah.
his answer, he gave one of his words was a 4-letter word in response to us. I hope they keep that in there, because if they do, it will be on the Houston Roundball YouTube channel later on today. Trust and believe that, man, because as owner of my own thing, I can do that
Right.
on my platform. So yes.
Right.
So
right. Yeah, man. I got to tell you, Kris, you know, I want to tie it all together. The fact that you were quote unquote shut out here locally, man. You know, I'm not preaching right now, but scripture says a prophet's not welcome in his own home. Sometimes people get too familiar with you. Sometimes they get too comfortable with you that they don't appreciate you. And I have to tell people, you know, that are close around me in different areas, don't get too common with me now, because you're going to miss out on what I bring to you in this capacity. So, man, listen, they're going to look up and they're going to wonder, how did he get here? No matter what you do. And I'm not talking about doing it with Jones Media and Entertainment. I'm just talking about Kris Gardner has so much in him that people are going to look up one day and say, dang, how you do that? Because you operate and move in silence, but you also operate and move with a level of quality that young people can really learn from. They can learn from a brother who knows how to, you know, somebody thinks this, he's went off on me, and you understand what it really was this. Folks can learn from that. And I'm telling you, they're going to look up and they're going to be like, how in the heck did he do that? So, brother, you just keep doing what you're doing the way you do it, because, again, man, you are a wealth of knowledge, and you've been doing it for so long. I appreciate the fact that Andy Yanez and Tamar and all of them are right there with you, man, because they're going to be better for it.
Appreciate that, man, as always. And it's interesting because earlier in the week, we were done with our post-game press conference. And, you know, this is the UH has ended their regular season, home part of their schedule last night. Got a road game at Memphis on Sunday, but home portion we're done. So coach said to me, he said, Kris, man, I'm going to miss your question about asking about the opponent, you know, who on the other team is players to watch. And because he said to me, because I kind of, you know, poo-pooed it, you know, but he said, no, Kris, that's your thing. That's your question that you're known for. So ain't nothing wrong with that. Good, bad, or indifferent. That's your question. That's what you're known for. Yeah. So before the Temple game, I was the first question, and because it was planned this way. And so I said, well, I'm going to stick with tradition, coach. Who are players to watch for Temple? Yeah. So he went right into it. So it's the relationship. Like I said, you do this a long enough time, and you do it from my perspective, my angle, you do it with respect, both ways. Yeah. Coaches respect you, players respect you. Yep. And they appreciate what you put into it, and they give you the respect in return. Yep. So that's how, like I said, that's what I've learned over the years. And I go back to, I'm going to give flowers to Ralph Cooper, to William Stickney with the Chronicle, because Stick took me under his wing way back when we were covering the comments, when he was covering the comments, and I learned from him how to cover the comments and learn about pro sports. So I'm simply paying it forward to Andy, James Mueller, Tamer. I met a youngster, Cody Davis. Met Chancellor Johnson, KPRC, young brother there. Met him, I think, Sunday at UH game. So we're going to try to work together, try to interview him, conversation with him. Good. Because it's still not many of us in sports media here in town. True. And I think I mentioned to you about in October when I was at Big 12 Media Day. Right. And I was the only pepper in the salt there. And I was approached by a gentleman who works for the NPR radio station in Kansas City. And we touched base, connected again last few weeks. And I spoke with, I guess, one of his coworkers Wednesday. and we're going to have the roundtable on March 21st to discuss diversity, lack of diversity in sports media.
Right.
So that's NPR Radio, Kansas City, Missouri. So look for that in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to be ordering some barbecue from Kansas City because they got the best barbecue in the United States. Don't argue that, it's already been proven. So,
man, have you had? We're going to talk about that, man, because I got a friend of mine who does more catering now, barbecue. I don't know if I should. Can I plug him?
Yeah, it's my show, bro. We got to talk about some food, bro.
Yeah. So my man Herman Stevenson's barbecue, man. My man drives back and forth from Oklahoma to Texas like every other weekend.
All right, so now here's what I want you to do. I want you to pull out all his information. I want you to get all his stuff and put him out there because I want people to know about this brother doing his thing. Because again, that's what we can do now that we're on the lunch break. I don't have to worry about who's sponsoring and who has sponsored and all that. I want to highlight those kind of folks. In fact, I was going to talk about Mishaw's, who's got a restaurant in our area. Keith Hennig talk about Franklin Barbecue in Austin, Texas. Keith, I'm telling you, man, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. Kansas City has the best barbecue in the United States of America. So all we just talking about is number 2 and 3. That's all we talking about.
I don't know about that.
And you know what? Texas folks can't really handle that, and I get it. It's just like the Dallas Cowboys. If you keep telling people you're America's team, folks don't believe you're America's team. But we know that's not the case. So
you gotta have some Stevenson's barbecue, man.
All right, Stevenson's barbecue, Terrence Stevenson.
Herman Stevenson. Herman Stevenson, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, get a number for him and plug him before we go because we
he like I said, because I met him through Ralph when I was at KCOH.
So I know he knows good people. If he knows you and Ralph, I know he knows good people. Tell me about this barbecue now. What makes it so good?
But this is going back in the day, man. So back in the early 2000s. So he used to feed us and feed the Sam Andrews Black Fantasy Football League as well. We have our football drafts every year. So, that's what you want, man. The links, brisket, the ribs, everything, man. This is legit. He does more catering now than
this is a
restaurant
question. This is a trick question. I mean, not a trick question, but this is the decide all end all. Does he do rib tips?
I haven't had him. He might now, but honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay, all right. Let's find that out. Okay, do me a favor. Stay right there, Chris.
Okay.
Because I got to fall out in my chair, flat on my back, and kick my legs like a 5-year-old. Keith Hennig had the nerve to say, "I've been to Jack Stack in Kansas City. Franklin is better." Hold on, I'll be right back. Are you kidding me? Bruh, what? Wait, what? All right, here's the deal. If I can't go online and order rib tips from Franklin Barbecue, there's no way you can say it's better than Jack Stack. I can go online right now and order a bucket of rib tips, some sauce, and some other stuff from from Jack Stack Barbecue in Kansas City, and in a couple of days it will be here. All I got to do is heat it up and eat it up. That's it. I'm telling you, man, it's the whole thing. The ribs are good, the food is good, the service is good, and I can get it anywhere in the United States of America. The lower 48. You got to go the whole way, bro. You got to go the whole way.
You see his reply?
I saw the reply, but by whom? By who? Because doggone it, I can rate Jack Stack number 1 for the next 3 years, and guess what? They can say rated number 1 in America for 3 years in a row. They can say that. I mean, my opinion counts as much as anybody else's. It's Freestyle Friday on the lunch.
But I'm all for sampling Jack Stack, Franklin. Hey,
Gates,
like I said,
Arthur Bryant, you got to get it all. You got to get it all. And I'm a firm believer that let me say it right. The more of a hole in the wall it is, the better it is. Because man,
I go with that. Yeah.
Thank you. Because man, there's some places that I go in New Orleans that people are like scared to go.
Right.
Like, if you don't come in here and sit down somewhere, There was a place that I went to in Denver, Aurora, Colorado. And man, when I tell you, it was a hole in the wall. And I went with a group of friends. We were in a training session. And this lady who was a server kept walking past us. And she had a tray and food and all that kind of stuff. And finally, she stopped in front. She said, "Are y'all waiting to be seated?" And somebody in the group said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Excuse my French, y'all. It's my show." She said, "Well, then sit your ass down then." There was no sign. There was nothing that said "wait to be seated" or "seat yourself." And that was the flavor of the restaurant. They don't try to be polite. They just serve good food. And the stick of the restaurant is this legendary server who will cuss you out, but she will bless you with good food, man. And I'm telling you, we had a great time, man. We had a great time. I don't remember the name of it, or I would tell people about it.
All right, brother. Well, Big 12 basketball tournament is in Kansas City. So, for next few years. So
what you gonna do?
I'm talking to you.
What are you gonna do? Okay, so we can't go. I can't go this year.
Well, no,
you want me to meet you up next year?
I'm planning to try to make it next year.
Okay, so let's go next year and follow me. Can we do that?
Yeah, let's do that. We can go to the women's games or the men's games, do both, whatever. But also go check out some foods. So we'll see. Yeah, next year. 2023. Yeah.
So we probably have to go to the women's game because they don't like me on the men's side. They don't like me on the men's
side. We gotta change that though, brother. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get somebody to help pay for this trip too. So yeah, that's what we're thinking about this.
I keep a sponsor or two nearby. I do.
So yeah, we're gonna make this work.
Trey Pike said Sugarfoot and Peaches in Fort Scott, Kansas, about an hour and 15 south of Kansas City. Trey Pike, Captain Trey Pike, I know he know what he's talking about. See, it's that whole region, bro. They know what they're doing up there. And just because they don't promote as much as Texas, with the rodeo and stuff, the barbecue cook-off, bruh.
Okay.
Best barbecue in the United States of America comes from Kansas or Missouri. It's just a street. It's just a street.
Okay. I can put on a few more pounds on this old body. So yeah, it's all good. Let's do it.
I told somebody I got to do the guy for ready now because I don't eat anything other than seafood and vegetables and stuff like that. So I got to put it in my mouth. So this is good, and then off camera I got to spit it out.
Well, I'll be the sampler. I'll be the taste tester. So yeah.
I have literally been a judge at a barbecue cookout here in Houston. I used to do it 3-4 years in a row. At Greater St. Matthew, they have a big annual outdoor festival with barbecue cook-off, man. And I have been there, one of the judges. And bro, I got to tell you, some folks really know what they're doing. And then there's some folks that, babe, what were you trying to do?
Yeah, what was this?
Yeah, what was that about? What's that? Ivan Dawkins. Ivan, for real, man. I gotta quit threatening and just get you on the show, especially now that we're doing our own thing on the JM&E network. Ivan has a show called Three Queens? Man, he's on with three sisters and him. And
brave man.
Brother, I love the show, but I am deathly afraid to go on the show because man, them sisters do not play. So but we got to get him on, man, because Queen, 3, and King. Yeah, I like it. This is, y'all got to follow this dude. If y'all don't know how to find him, go to your Roku streaming device, download BS3 TV, and look for Queen, 3, and King. And I'm telling you, you'll love it. You can find him on Facebook. You can find him on all social media platforms. But I'm telling you, man, it is a legit show, and I love every single second of it. So I even hate when I got to get the playback because I like to interact with them, when they're on. Because bro, they are fire. They not lit. They fire.
All right. I'll check it out.
They the thing that do the lighting. You know what I mean?
Because I do have the app on my Roku device. So yes, I do have it. So
you gotta find that.
Yep.
Gotta find that. Look, I'm the shit. I'm scared of them queens. I ain't scared of them queens. Bruh,
okay.
You are a king amongst queens because I'm telling you, man, I can't do it. I can't do it. So anyway, real quick, man, we done talked about food. We done talked about you. We talked a little bit about what I'm doing. We're coming down the stretch. It's March, beginning of March. A couple of conference tournaments have gotten started. A couple will be starting here pretty soon. As you said, U of H about to end their regular season on the road against Memphis. Memphis is a team that really has gotten hot towards the end of the regular season. Talk to me about.
Yes, but first things first, they've gotten healthy.
Okay.
So that helps. So, this is us talking. Folks talking about, well, Penny can't coach. Penny Hardaway can't coach. Well, damn. It's hard to coach when half your team is hurt or out with COVID, and the players still played hard and competed despite being undermanned, shorthanded. Well, that's part of what you want from your coach.
Right.
And now they're getting healthy. They're playing better.
Yeah.
They got to be more consistent. They may beat UH Sunday. Coach Sampson hinted at that today.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm trying to figure out, and I don't know, because I'm probably going to do a short about it as well. What's the hate? What started the hate, the bitterness between Memphis and UH? Because I don't get it. The fans on both sides are just, I'm like, from what?
Yeah. Hold that thought for a second, Kris. Hold that thought for a second. All hail the queen.
Oh, this is one of them? Oh.
Hail the queen. Mika Baldwin, queen checking in. Please don't be scared. LOL. Hashtag too late. I'm scared for real. I'm for real scared.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll check it out, but I got much respect for my queens, but I'm scared to be put in my place,
Bruh, and that's what they will put you in your place, and you'll be grateful to be in it. Like, oh, thank you. I needed to sit down.
Yeah.
Thank you. I needed to hush. Thank you. You're right. I wasn't making sense. No, bro. I'm saying I love those ladies. I love Ivan. I love the show, man. Again, good content, bro.
Because my the queens at the church I attend, man, they put me in my place so much,
brother.
I'm just okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am. That's all I can say. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm grateful I didn't get popped.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're right.
Because many of them helped raise me. My grandmother, grandfather are one of the founder families of that church. So I grew up in that church, and especially with my mom, health issues for a long, long time.
Yeah.
They helped raise me. So, oh no, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. What do you need, ma'am? Just okay.
No. And I love mothers like that, brother. Mothers in the church that can correct you to the point where you walking away and you don't even know you bleeding.
Yeah. Can I tell this story real quick? I'm having flashbacks of when I was 12. when this is church related. Okay. Saturday school, we have before mass, because I'm Catholic, we have the readings, and the Dorothy Walker was her name. She was director of the Saturday, the CCE.
Mm-hmm.
She asked me to be elected, be a reader.
Mm-hmm.
And I said no. I said not today. Now what? No. I get home. My granny pulls me aside. The next time Miss Walker asks you to read, you are going to read. And I was elected from 12. After that, from 12 to 25. So I didn't miss a Sunday.
Oh my God.
Yes, ma'am.
You're gonna learn today.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn today.
So yeah, may both those ladies rest in peace. But
Man,
she was just very firm about it. The
Yeah.
next time Miss Walker asks you to read, you will read.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So,
I got to tell you, man,
those
are life moments, man. Those are life moments that we never forget. And the fact that it's Women's History Month, man, we literally had people in our lifestyle, in our lives, and in our generation, man, that were making history just by correcting us.
Yes.
Just putting us on the right track to be who we are today, man. So for every mama, every grandmama, every big mama, every auntie, every missionary, every evangelist, every prophetess, man, whatever your title, even if you was a deaconess, whatever your title is and was, Hear me when I say you are truly a part of our history and what it is we become. Without y'all, man, we'd be out there in the street showing our natural behind. So, man, I appreciate you sharing that story. Mika says, we love you. Thanks for the support. Now, I gotta tell you, man, I love good people. I love good production and good content like that. And again, man, they have put something together that, man, the world needs to see it.
Mm-hmm.
There are plenty of stuff out there that folks pay a lot of money for, and they get just as good content, if not better, than Ivan and his crew with Queen 3 and King, because, man, it's really, really good. It's really, and again, it's part of the BS3 Network family. I got a chance to be on a show with Vinny Hardy and Terry Brown. They talk all things Kentucky Wildcat basketball.
I've seen, I have not watched the show. I've seen the image of it, and I'm just like, man, that's Kentucky Blue, man. I ain't gonna mess with
you. Got to do it. You got to do it.
Go.
It's really good. We had a great time, man. They made this old dude feel real, real good, man. I had to pull out my 5 heartbeats and say, y'all sure y'all want to roll with old Eddie? Because it was good. Keith, don't worry about it. I'm not gonna show my natural behind. My mama done popped me too many times about that. You out there showing your natural behind? No, ma'am, I wasn't. That ain't what your teacher said.
Yeah.
So no, don't worry about it, Keith. I got too many fond memories of getting in trouble for that. So, but so getting back to it, you're right. I don't know exactly what the rivalry is or the issue is with U of H and Memphis, but can I say this? I like it. I like when there's some juice.
It's good copy.
Yeah.
Because Memphis's men's basketball Twitter account put out something Tuesday, Wednesday, and Andy sent it to me about it was a thing last year about the little issue of who should get the home game because of COVID disrupted the schedule.
Okay.
Should UH get the home game or Memphis get the home game to end the season? And the conference rules basically were UH got it because they missed it. Their game got canceled, so they were going to get it, for the makeup date.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis fans didn't like it. Penny threw some shade in there, do some stuff in the tea. So Memphis put out on Twitter, well, since we haven't seen Houston in a long time, let's pack the place on Sunday and everybody wear black or whatever color it is. And a lot of Tiger fans are hyping it up. And of course, UH fans are all upset, all, getting all hyped and everything. I'm like, yeah, whatever, yawn. But some of Memphis folks were like, I think they wanted to make the place white, all white, or white out.
Okay.
And some of Memphis fans are like, but our color's blue. I'm wearing blue. It's like, see, y'all can't even do the shade right, man. So
leave them alone, man. They new to this. Before Penny, Memphis hadn't been relevant since what's that dude that got the program in trouble?
Yeah, Cal, Coach Cal, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. He's up in UK basketball. I'm being silly. Very silly. Man, I do. I like it. I like this time of year. This is back in the day. This was in the mid to late 80s. Back then cable was new and all that. And I would get cable for March Madness. And as soon as March Madness was over, turn it off. I'm not going to pay another nickel for it. Turn it off. Well, Mr. Jones, we're going to give you another 30 days free. All right. After them 30 days are over, turn it off because I'm not paying another nickel for it.
Because you're right. You are showing our age because years ago it was on CBS, one game. Yep. You might get live look-ins from other games going on.
Yep.
And then they finally began to evolve. And if you want to see more games, you had to, pay for it to get other stuff.
Right.
Because it wasn't until the last few years when they added the Turner Network, all that kind of stuff, where you could flip around to different games. But yes, years ago, it was just one game on at a time with the live look-in. So, yeah, we've come a long way.
And it was like an anniversary. Me and my frat brothers would take off on the Friday, when the tournament first started. Because I think they started playing some games on Thursday. Mm-hmm. Then they played the Friday games. And we would sit around and watch whoever was on. It didn't even matter who was on those Friday games. And we'd be off from work, man. And then, then we'd go from there. I love this time of year. I love this March Madness tournament. we had a crazy weekend this past weekend where like everybody with a number in front of them almost lost, especially in the top 3, top 4, top 5.
Top 6 teams lost,
Yeah.
and 7 of the top 10 lost in
Yeah.
men's hoops. So
Yeah.
men's basketball. Yeah.
Now, Kris, is that a product of? I'm sorry, y'all. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joining us on the lunch break. Is that a product of parity? Is that a product of this time of year? Is that a product of COVID? What? When you see a weekend like that, what do you think?
Probably all of the above.
Okay.
I think it's parity. It's definitely this time of the year. That was the end of February. Rivalry matchups. Some teams got to win, need that game to win for the resume, all that kind of stuff. As well as, some COVID, because some teams may have been playing their 3rd game in 5 days, something like that. So a little bit of everything.
Okay.
UH is in the middle. Let's see, they played last Wednesday in New Orleans, and then Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday this week here. And then they'll close out at Memphis on Sunday. So that's 5 games in 10 days, whatever it is. So yeah, right. So that's part of it as well. But it's a lot of parity. It's a lot of talented players who have spread the talent out in men's hoops, and we are starting to see that more in women's basketball as well.
Absolutely. So heading into the conference tournaments, obviously the number 1 seeds are not a lock. Gonzaga was able to stay number 1 because literally everybody behind them lost.
They probably are locked number 1 seed because of so many non-conference quality wins they got in November, December. Yeah.
Anybody else in that locked at a number 1? I know there's talk about Arizona. I know there's talk.
Arizona probably, because they won. They came back and won last night over Stanford.
Okay.
So they avoided a bad loss. Auburn.
I was going there next. I
don't know about a lock.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, who else? Kansas is no longer a lock. I think they brought it on 2 seed line.
Yeah. And I'm okay with that as a Bill Self.
Villanova is not. So yeah, after the Zags, who am I forgetting? I feel like I'm getting somebody. Auburn, those are probably 2 locks as number 1 seeds. Kentucky can go up and down with it. KU and UK is probably not there. Baylor's not a lock. So it's a lot of good teams, balance. Go ahead.
Let's do this 1 through 8. Gonzaga 1, Arizona 2, Baylor 3, Duke 4, Auburn 5, Kansas 6, Kentucky 7, Purdue 8. And I watched that ugly loss against Wisconsin. So yeah, I don't want Purdue to be a number 1, nothing. But so where can it go from there? We're saying that Gonzaga is in a number 1 seed, probably gonna be the number one overall.
Arizona as well.
Okay.
As a 1 seed. Baylor, if they probably reach the Big 12 championship, conference championship, should be straight to be a 1 seed.
Okay.
And then
Duke, Auburn, Kansas.
Duke, I don't see Duke. Even if they win the ACC, I don't think they'd be a 1 seed.
Okay.
Auburn could still be a 1 seed as long as they don't lose them like in the first round.
Okay.
They have a chance. Same with Kentucky. But I think Auburn, they get probably just to the semifinal of the SEC. Should be a 1 seed. Yeah.
I was gonna say, now could we get 2 number 1s out of the SEC if Auburn and Kentucky both end up?
It's possible. Just to send them different parts of the country. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's probably going to be the case. It is the case in the bracketology and women's side with Louisville and NC State. They're 1 seeds from the ACC.
State, right.
So, yeah.
Right. For some reason, everybody's talking about Wisconsin. Everybody's talking about Wisconsin as if they got a legit shot to win it all.
That's because they got a bad man on their team, Johnny Davis.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I saw one grown man and a lot of I saw Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5. I saw Gladys Knight and the Pips. I mean,
he scored 30 against UH, in Vegas / Maui Invitational. So that's when he opened our eyes here and talent. This young man can play. So yeah.
So if Wisconsin, again, these conference tournaments are more for seeding purposes as opposed to
at the bigger conferences, yes.
At the bigger conferences,
yeah.
Okay. Obviously, at the small conferences, you win your tournament, you liable to be in, from the
question for you right there, brother. Question for you. Take that.
Okay. Call in number 832-403-5005. 832-403-5005. Yes, sir. Is wanting to call in. Oh Lord. Oh my gosh, brother.
Yeah, what are we about to get ourselves into? Yeah, so I'm afraid, man. I'm gonna be quiet.
I am too. I want to be quiet.
So, but man, let's talk about that article on CNN, man.
Let's get that. It's Freestyle Friday, so brother, we can do whatever we want on the menu.
So the opinion article. Let me give credit to the author, Moki Makura, Moky, first name, last name Makura. Media coverage of Ukraine shows it's time to rethink what we know about Africa. And basically, people still think Africa is a third world country, continent. Everybody's, still in the bush, and I'm I'm almost 50, and it took me a while to realize that globally, people that look like us are still disrespected. And I mean globally. It's not just here in America. You can go almost anywhere. People who look like us, they think we don't know, that we're not intelligent. They don't give us the same opportunities to succeed or fail. They make assumptions about where we come from, what we know, how much money we have. They just think that all we know is, we're ignorant, we're lazy, we don't have this, we're not worthy of life. Let's put it like that. First things first, we're not worthy of life. We're less than. Too many people think that we're less than. And I'm like, it's 2022. And we're still dealing with this because we've seen the reports of people like us who are trying to leave Ukraine and being mistreated in other countries when they're trying to enter those countries and disrespected, and no, you can't go. No, you got to wait over here, and everybody else, the blonde, blue-eyed folks, just walk right on in with no problems.
Right.
We're people too.
Yeah.
We've been people too. We've been here the longest. So
do me a favor. Read that line from the actual article that the person made on the interview
about. Let me see. Let me pull it up here. I mean, there's so much to read. What do you want me to read? Which part?
And I'm sorry, I kind of put you on the spot. Let me pull this up. So, and I quote, he said, "It's very emotional for me because I see European people with blue eyes and blonde hair being killed." And those were the words of the Ukrainian deputy chief prosecutor, I won't try to say his name, David Sack, during a recent BBC interview about the Russian invasion of Ukraine. His comment, "It is very emotional for me because I see European people with blue eyes and blonde hair being killed," end quote. So it's not emotional when he see bald-headed people with gray beards and wide noses being killed and brown eyes, pretty brown eyes being killed. But when they got blonde hair and blue eyes, then it has a emotional effect on him.
Yeah, another quote from Lucy Watson on ITV. Quote, "The unthinkable has happened. This is not a developing third world nation. This is Europe," end quote. Okay.
So as long as this happening in Africa, it makes sense because they're third world, they're underdeveloped, they're black people, that's what they do.
And the article, it's an opinion article, but some great facts in there. By 2050, Nigeria will overtake the U.S. as the world's third most populous country with a population of 400 million people. And the money part, where's the money part? Let me see here. more facts. Over 60 research papers, reports, books, academic journals that we analyzed from the year 2000, written on Africa in the media, told us that poverty, conflict, corruption, disease, and poor leadership were the 5 frames through which most stories are told about Africa.
Right.
Don't ignore the data that shows that there are more than 400 companies that earn annual revenues of $1 billion or more in Africa.
Yep.
Or that the second fastest growing tourism market in the world is right here in Africa. The fastest growing developer community and tech startup ecosystem in the world is in Africa. Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, Tanzania are ranked in the top 20 global crypto adoption index. A whole bunch of facts, spitting facts here about, but yet people think that we don't know what we're talking about. You know?
And I'm not talking about African American. The majority of the Black billionaires, and they ain't a whole lot, but the majority of them come from the continent of Africa.
Yes.
So, you know, I said it earlier. If you keep saying something over and over again, people will literally begin to believe it without doing the research. Well,
Right.
You know, they said it over and over again. Let me tell you something. That's why we've got to have, you know, a you. We got to have a me. We got to have an Ivan. We got to have a Ben Sutter III. We got to have a David Grubb. We got to have people that will tell the story right and not just regurgitate it and spit it out every time somebody else comes around wrong.
Yes, and I'm not trying to. This is not all about me because I want us to succeed.
Absolutely.
Okay, but I've covered the Houston Roundball Review's been around going on 29 years. This 29th year. I saw more of us covering sports when I first started than I do now.
Oh yeah.
And
same.
I don't want to see it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not telling the youngsters who are great athletes to not be athletes. Okay. I want the youngsters who are great writers, who are great interviewers, to see a future in this.
Yep.
You know, and that's one thing I'm tired of seeing the networks hire the former athletes first to talk about sports, as if we don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah. And a lot of folks don't like Coach Johnny Cole because they say he, you know, a couple things about him, but it's almost the same argument about in HBCUs. If Black coaches and young assistants and young grad assistants are not going to get a chance in HBCUs, where are they going to get a chance? Because they're not going to get hired at PWIs. And if they don't get hired at PWIs, then, you know, chances of them getting to the NFL and some of these other leagues that are coming up are slim. I say that as well as broadcast journalism. If we don't have outlets for young people and people who just want to change careers to put in reps and learn and make mistakes and learn how to recover from their mistakes and learn how to show prep and learn how to research stories and learn how to verify resources and that kind of thing, where are they going to get it? So now when you see the job posting, oh, well, you got to have this much experience. You have to have worked on this particular software. You had to have done this type of editing and da-da-da-da-da. Where are they going to get those opportunities if now, and I agree with you, we're seeing less, not more.
Right. They're leaning on the athletes for the name, you know, the recognition. And some of those athletes shouldn't be on TV.
Yeah.
Okay. Just be real. They just should not be on TV. They're just on there because of who they are.
Yeah.
Could not form a sentence, you know, if we gave them all the necessary parts of it. You know, that still exists. So I just.
But Kris,
the battle's still there. We have to do our part and keep pushing forward to tell our story.
And Kris, let's, you know, again, now we have no change, bro. We don't have to worry about sponsors and general managers and that kind of stuff like that. This is what I try to get people who look like you and me to understand. Just because it's not happening to you doesn't mean it's not real. when you hear the word systemic or systematic racism, that means it's in the fiber of the system. So there are people who don't even realize that they have cultural biases to well-spoken Black men and Black women.
Yes.
I'm joking around about the three queens and king. I'm joking around about, man, I'm scared, and I've developed that just from how they, they'll chop you down in a good way, But there are people that have fear and anxiety and concerns when they see somebody that doesn't look like them, that sounds as educated and as advanced as they think that they are.
Right.
Now they subconsciously perceive a threat. But when you see, and again, I'm not knocking people, when you see a brother or sister that has trouble, putting their words together and doesn't seem as articulate or intelligent, and you can label them with, oh, it's just another dumb jock. Well, guess what? Subconsciously, you've tried to put them beneath you, and you've tried to put yourself in a place of superiority. And I'm saying that that's where, again, if it doesn't affect you, okay, good. To God be the glory. I hope that continues to be the case. I want to break that system. Yes. I want to break that subconscious. I want to break those avenues where they can just point at you and say, well, you couldn't do this and you couldn't do that. Here's your clip. Look at you. You couldn't even, they were way over here and you couldn't even keep up. I want to break those type of stereotypes. I want to break those type of systems. I want to break those type of, they're really, really bottlenecks, because yes, you can't even get through to somewhere else because you couldn't get past this.
Agreed. And one reason, and I'm going to mention, her health issues have kept her from being a guest on the show. But my sister, hoopfeed.com, Cheryl Coward, she told me, and sisters have it even tougher than we do in sports business journalism, because, too many times people just don't think they're just sexual objects and, trying to hit them, all that kind of stuff. But she told me she started putting a picture of herself with her work because folks assumed she was Caucasian. Mm-hmm. Because she did such great work. She worked so hard. And when she told me that, I changed my Twitter to a picture so y'all know who I am when you see me. So I'm like, yeah, this is me. You stop your assumptions about, man, I thought you were white. Mm-hmm. Well, that's on you. Mm-hmm. So, because I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why I finally have grown into doing more video and stuff, because I want folks to know what I look like. I want people to know the face behind the voice and stop assuming different things. Because when I was on radio, there are some folks, man, I thought you were white. I don't know why you thought that. Why? Because I'm intelligent? Yeah. And you assume because I was intelligent, the only white people can sound intelligent talking sports? Well, that's on you too. So that ain't on me.
Exactly. And again, that's that subconscious level. People subconsciously will make predisclosed or what's the word? Now look, now I'm doing it. Now I'm sounding intelligent. They'll prejudge you. They'll prejudge that, because he sounds like this, he must be this.
Right.
And again, there are people who make hiring and firing decisions that have those prejudices before you get started. I've been looking at how they've been predisposed. Thank you, Keith. How they've been dealing with Malik Willis, quarterback out of Liberty, mm-hmm. And he's been blowing the scouts and the general managers and the coaches away by the way he's handled himself in interviews.
Yeah. Well, you'd expect him to speak intelligently, like he could not articulate his words. You made an assumption right there. You prejudged him based on how he looked.
In 2022.
Yes.
I mean, they literally thought it was just one-dimensional RPO offense, and this man literally has two different offensive coordinators based on the situation, and all of that, and he's able to decipher from two different offensive coordinators what he needs to do to execute the play, and he's recounting that in his interviews, and people have the nerve to be like, without saying it,
right.
I didn't think you were intelligent enough to do that.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I've read that he is a potential draft pick for the Commanders. Oh my gosh, that franchise so messed up. I don't wish nothing on nothing bad on him, but man, oh man,
I'm a
yeah.
sci-fi movie buff. One of my favorite all-time movies is the Alien series.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of those series, the captain, after a bad defeat, said, "We're going to take off and we're going to nuke this thing from above." And literally, that's what they need to do with that organization right there until they get it right. Until from the top to the bottom. And I'm not talking about just Dan Snyder. I'm talking about his wife.
Yep.
I'm talking about his front office. And I know there's a brother in the front office, but listen, sometimes you get a shot in a place that you don't even need to be yourself.
Yes.
And they really, we got a caller. We got a caller. Ladies and gentlemen, all hail the queen. Mika.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are y'all?
I'm doing great. How are you, Queen?
I am good.
Mika, I'm scared. I'm glad to hear from you, but I'm scared. I don't know what's getting ready to happen next.
First of all, my dad goes by AJ, so you got my heart there.
Okay.
And then you're my big brother. I'm a member of the illustrious sorority of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So
my mom is too.
See, smart lady.
Indeed.
Okay, so I'm less scared, but I ain't feeling comfortable.
What do we have to do to make you feel more comfortable?
Man, let me tell you something. Y'all teach me something every time I tune into the show. As a man, I learn something, and I try to apply it to my life so I can be a better man. But baby, something about sitting, being on the show and being in that hot seat while y'all chopping it up and slicing it up, I feel like I'd be dinner.
You would, because have you met Ivan? He's dinner. He's dessert, and he's the appetizer. So no, you would, because he does too much. That's why we have to check him. It's a different level of checking that has to go on with your big brother.
Well, listen, tell everybody when the show is on live, because I mean, you got to experience it live. It's okay on the playback, but the live interaction is just good stuff. When is it on live?
The live interaction happens Tuesdays, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. You'll be able to see myself, my two sisters, and my brother chop it up about different topics, talk about what's going on in society, give you some family stories. We may laugh, we may cry, we may cuss, but we don't mean to fuss. Hey.
Okay.
Look, I got to tell you, I am going to be tuned in next Tuesday at 7 and tell Ivan if he wants to extend. Well, know what? I ain't got to go through Ivan. If you want to extend an invitation, I may. One time. I'll try anything once.
Yeah, you can try anything once.
But I don't know if I'll do it twice.
Look, he'll do it twice. And I forgot I was supposed to be calling in because I was so tuned into the conversation. Y'all are hitting on some stuff I was just talking to my teachers about. I'm in the business of educating teachers on how to educate students that look like me. Yep. It's a different thing.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
And until people admit that there's a possibility that I could have some subconscious biases that I don't even mean to have, then they will never break through. And I'm sorry, I'm not talking critical race theory, since that scares people so much. I'm just talking about you being effective at your job with people who don't look like you.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
And we're teaching kids on how to deal with people who don't understand people who look like them.
Yeah, that's good, Mika. That is real good.
Don't dim your light.
Yeah. Mika, I'm gonna have to have you on next Friday. I want to dig into that some more. Okay.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay, dear. We'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Thanks, y'all. Have a great show.
Appreciate you.
You take care.
Okay, Mika Baldwin, man, outstanding. 3 queen and king. And man, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. Again, if you have the BS3 network, download that on your Roku streaming device and you check them out, man. They're outstanding. They are outstanding. Brother, we done bumped up right against the time to go. We can talk basketball anytime,
Yeah.
and we'll have plenty to talk about next Thursday when we get back on track. But man, I love that you dig into stuff like this about life, man, just about life and life on all sides, not just from one perspective. And we now see people saying the inside stuff on the outside.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, this matters now because blonde haired, blue eyed people are being killed. This matters now because European people are killed and not third world countries like Africa. You know, and oh yeah, by the way, Africa is a continent. You know,
exactly.
For some of my brothers and sisters across the pond, and there's a lot of beautiful people in all of the countries on the continent. So I pray that folks will try to do better so that they can be better. Kris, tell everybody where they can find you and follow you, man, with all the great stuff you do.
Appreciate it, man. HoustonRoundballReview.com, Houston Roundball Review on YouTube and Instagram. Twitter, a little bit different. THEV. Some of y'all say the HR Review. Folks Talking Sports tonight will be on Twitter. We've got a Folks Talk Sports Twitter account for that as well. But Folks Talk Sports will be on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Me, Willie Gibson, and the youngster Andy Yanez, special guest Sam Khan from The Athletic. I'm about to interview Lawrence Sampson, Director of Basketball Operations for U of H Men's Basketball, in a few minutes. So that'll be on Houston Roundball Review, YouTube. But one more time, since 1994, Houston Roundball Review, local name, global perspective.
Love you, man.
Love you, man.
All right. Kris Gardner, y'all, and I appreciate him making time because if you saw his calendar, this dude is booked up, and I mean he is booked up. So y'all don't wait, don't hesitate, follow him and check out what he's doing. All right, normally I would hit up Sybil Wilkes right here, but I got to get ready to go. And I meant that for Women's History Month. I want to honor all the mothers, the grandmothers, the big mothers, the aunties, the missionaries at the church, you know, the deaconesses. I do. I want to honor them because without them, we literally would have no history. We would be history. You if you catch what I'm saying. So I do. I honor each and every one of y'all. I'll be back on Monday. With Coach Johnny Cole. We'll take our HBCU stroll. We'll honor another woman for Women's History Month, and who knows where the show will go. But hear me when I say again, some great things are happening behind the scenes. Yes, this is a virtual background, but very soon we'll have a studio built out, and we'll be able to make it versatile. So if you want to film a short movie, if you want to film a TV series, if you want to film, your video podcast, if you want to, do a documentary or a reality show, I just want to make a platform available. You own your content. It is your content. It does not become mine. But I just want to make a platform available for you to have another place where you can showcase the greatness in you. So y'all be paying attention to JM&E, Jones Media and Entertainment. You can always follow me at Jones Media and ENT. And we're also part of Amber Shaw Entertainment Group, or Amber Shaw ENT GRP. So we got some good partnerships going on, and I'm looking forward to making more. So as always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I got to give love to Alcorn. They are #1 in the SWAC men's basketball. Jackson State on the women's side, but Alcorn knocked off TSU. They're #1 in the SWAC. Y'all be careful. Y'all be safe. Y'all be blessed. We'll talk to you again on Monday.